Peoples of the worldwide federated internet. What's good? Even gadget guys can make mistakes. Yes, it does happen. It does happen. I made the mistake today of updating my recording software. Actually, I updated it a few days back. And I was noticing some issues and it just got worse. And I went to record today and it just was not happening. I was battling with insane lagging issues. It was just all kind of problems. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hold this off. I'm going to troubleshoot this, try to figure out what's going on. I think I got it licked. I'm not really going to go heavily into a biblical topic today, per se, but I do want to talk about some scattershot things, and Lord willing, tomorrow I'll return to biblical topics. I'm actually considering on weekends going over different cultural news items, breaking, away those 2 days from the Bible for some news topics, things going around. So I'm considering, doing that. But today I definitely want to do that. Like I said, some scattershot issues. One, the vice presidential debate. I am 100% sure all of you either watched the debate or heard about the debate or seen video clips of the debate or heard discussions about the debate. I believe personally that there is a clear winner. Now, I do lean more conservative than not. I always say that, because I want my biases known. With that said, I do believe I possess the ability to be objective. I believe Kamala Harris lost that debate hands down, and it's not because Mike Pence had all the right answers. The problem Kamala Harris had was several instances, and this wasn't obscure things, this was verifiable things. There were several instances where she was, I want to say forced, but I don't even know if that's the right word, where she lied to push her point. And she had to lie to push her point. To me, when you have to do that in a debate, you automatically lose, because if your arguments are compelling and your position is sound and solid, there's no need to fabricate or lie in order to push your ideas across. Now, in a debate, people avoid questions. That's actually a debate tactic. And the reason that's done is to avoid being pigeonholed by another question. So I'm not necessarily put off by avoiding questions in a debate. I understand how debates work. I get it, right? Like when Kamala Harris ducked the question about packing the court. I understand why she ducked that question. It is my personal belief that if her and Joe Biden were to get elected, that's exactly what they plan on doing. But I understand her ducking that question. Mike Pence ducked a lot of questions. That man was bobbing and weaving. He was ducking them left and right. So he doesn't get a pass on that. But I didn't see anywhere in that debate, and like I said, this being objective, I didn't see anywhere where Mike Pence told a outright lie to push his point. He ducked questions. He went around certain things, absolutely. And like I said, I didn't necessarily have an issue per se when Kamala Harris did that. Now, the issues she did that on told me where she stood I understand how this works. We know there's two reasons a person will duck a question in a debate. Either they don't want to tell you what their position is because it's going to be unpopular amongst a certain demographic and they don't want to alienate that demographic, or they don't really have a good answer. And I've seen that happen in many debates. Like I said, I understand it's the name of the game, but Mike Pence won. That's just, for me, in my opinion, that's not even up for debate. And it's only because the only reason is she lied numerous times to push her point. It was to the point where I was talking to my youngest son off and on during the debate, and she said something, and I sent him a text immediately. I was like, that is a lie. I know that is a lie because she said X, Y, or Z. It wasn't even things that were hard to verify. And that's what struck me as odd. I've seen numerous debates where senators, congressmen, presidents, vice presidents have left out information, walked around answering a question. I've seen it. I don't know, and maybe I have. I'm not saying it's never happened before. I don't know if it's ever happened to this degree. This is a weird cycle we're in. That debate was definitely much better than the presidential debate, in my opinion. But I don't know if I've ever seen a debate where someone repeatedly told outright lies, not leaving off information, not walking around answering, with just straight up lie, verifiable. You could Google within 5 seconds and prove that no, that's actually not true. For that reason, she lost. And like I said, it's not because Mike Pence did a better job, even though I believe he is a better debater than she is. But the lies really is what did it for me. I was like, oh, you got to tell outright lies to push your point. You lost. I don't even need to hear anything else you have to say. You lost. You can't stand on your ideas. It's a wrap for me. Now, this next thing is very, I wouldn't say strange because it's kind of to be expected, but I don't understand why it's a big argument for a president to fill a Supreme Court seat. I've heard all of the arguments back and forth, X, Y, and Z, why he shouldn't, why he should. Bottom line is he's the president. He's filling the seat. I don't know why that's an argument. I don't even know why that's up for debate. Well, I take that back. I can understand why it would be debated. What I don't understand is why this thing is made a huge issue. Like, this is just the most resounding issue, and we have to make this the biggest issue on a planet, and we have to make this a talking point for weeks. There's a vacant seat. Presidents nominate Supreme Court justices. It doesn't matter at what point in their presidency they do that. They do it. I don't understand. Just a little bit confused by that. We're in this weird political cycle where everything is an argument. Everything is a debate. Even things that are not even like, man, why are we debating this? This is the way the system works. I can understand debating policy issues. I can understand debating over a bill that's to be passed. I understand that. But we're getting to the point where politicians in Washington are debating over the way things are done, the way they're set out. There's a debate over appointing Supreme Court justices. There's debates raging over the Electoral College, which I did a video on that. I recommend you watch if you are a proponent of getting rid of the Electoral College. I was once in that camp, and I didn't understand the Electoral College, and I didn't understand exactly what it does. I believe it's necessary, and I believe it actually keeps us from mob rule. I think that's a good video for you to check out if you don't really understand how the Electoral College works. But I'm just so baffled at how vehement some of these arguments are. And it's not necessarily baffling just because the arguments themselves and the debates themselves are vehement. It's the things that are being argued about. I feel like I am living in an upside down world. And I've said this before. I feel like I am in Stranger Things and I am literally in the upside down. Because when I see some of these politicians going back and forth and the things they're going back and forth about, I'm like, wait a minute. Why are we're debating this? Like, what is this serious? Strange world. Look, say what you want about Trump, feel however you want to feel about him. If he didn't do anything else, and I know I keep saying this because he's done a lot of things, he has definitely brought out the crazy. Like everyone in Washington, D.C. who was crazy and keeping it on the low, no, it's front and center right now. Front and center for everyone to see. So that I'm glad about. I'm glad that I can see which one of these politicians are just straight up nuts. Crazy. No rational thought whatsoever. Which is another reason why I pray and I hope that people that should run, do run, people with character, people with sound judgment, people that would do what's right for the country. It is my prayer that people like that would run for office and get elected, because we definitely need that right now. Another scattershot issue I kind of wanted to talk about. I watched a video or listened to a podcast, listened to a little bit of it earlier today, and the topic of Jeffrey Epstein came up. Have you ever stopped to think that you don't even need to be a conspiracy theorist at all, like at all, to look at this Jeffrey Epstein situation and go, this doesn't make sense at all? So the man is in a facility where it's a unit, from what I understand, from what I gathered from everything I've read and heard, where there's nothing in there for you to commit suicide. Nothing. They've specifically designed this unit this way. He was placed in there. The funny thing is, and I know I'm not losing my mind, I remember about a week and a half to 2 weeks before he killed himself, there was a report going around that Jeffrey Epstein had spoken with his lawyer and said he believed someone was trying to kill him. Now, I can believe that. I am convinced that Epstein believed with all of his heart that he was going to get out of this. I'm fully convinced. He was connected to very powerful people. Whether he has something or doesn't have something on those people, I don't know. Reports say that he does. I can't verify that, but hey, there's many organizations and agencies that report that he definitely had things on very powerful people. Possibility. Like I said, the reason I'm saying all this stuff this way is to point out that you don't really have to jump out the window with conspiracy theories to come to the conclusion that something about this Epstein situation stinks bad. So all of that happened. You're in a unit where you're not even supposed to be able to commit suicide. There's nothing in there for you to do so. The guards fall asleep. You're supposed to have 24-hour coverage as far as eyes on you. The camera breaks or malfunctions right at around the time both guards fall asleep and the camera malfunctions. Epstein, air quote, kills himself. You do not have to be a conspiracy theorist or put on a tinfoil hat or come up with some obscure theories about what happened to understand that that does not make common sense. That is not irrational. It is not irrational to look at that situation and say, that doesn't make sense. I do not believe this man killed himself. That is not an irrational thought, and that's not a conspiratorial thought. That's just looking at everything in a way everything played out and saying, yeah, I was born in a day, but I was not born yesterday. And again, I'm finding more and more, especially with the social media purge that's going on. Oh, by the way, if you did not believe the social media purge was real, there are many pages over the past week and a half that are being banned and wiped from existence. And it's funny because it would appear that any thought, any viewpoint that runs contrary to a certain viewpoint, I'll say that viewpoint that is more on the left, any viewpoint that runs contrary to that and gains traction appears to be banned and wiped from social media. I had another Instagram page a few months ago. I want to say 3-4 months ago, I believe my other page got banned. To this day, I have no idea why that page was banned. There was no email from Instagram or Facebook. There was no explanation for why the page was banned. I put up a video on my YouTube channel and on my Instagram page about it, the new Instagram page. No idea. I have absolutely no idea. Weird story. And the only thing I can figure, this is the only thing I can figure. I am no big shot. My voice does not reach many people. I'm just a guy on the internet sharing my thoughts. That's it. I'm nobody. My page started to gain some traction, and there were several of my videos that were being shared around. Now, like I said, I don't make any. It's no secret that I lean conservative. That's not a secret. But I'm not a political ideologue, right? I am a Christian. I believe the Bible, right? Where political views line up with the Bible, I'm good with it. Where political views don't line up with the Bible, I can do without it. That's my standpoint. So I'm not an ideologue in the sense of some people I see on the social media spaces in one direction or the next. So when my page was banned, I'm like going in the back of my head, like, what did I say? I don't think I said anything crazy, anything that would, be overtly offensive. Now, of course, when discussing the Bible, someone is always going to be offended. And there was the one video I made, I'll tell you that I believe might have got me banned, is a video I did on transgender people. I discussed what I believe the Bible shows about that issue. And I was not mean. I was not condescending at all. I didn't come off brash. I just said, hey, here's what the Bible says. Boom, boom, boom. Laid it out just like that. And it was, I want to say 2 days after that video, my page was banned. Maybe that was it. Maybe that's the fatted calf issue that you cannot discuss. So I'll probably be doing another video on that somewhere in the near future. Not just for the sake of doing a video on that, but just because it's a big issue in this day and age. So I like to cover from time to time some big hot button issues. So anyway, hopefully tomorrow I will return with some more content. I'm hoping that my video issues are resolved, because today I am telling you, boy, it was a headache working through these issues. Anyway, that's my random scatterbrain thoughts for the day. Y'all know what it is. Stay frosty, people.